Hi, my name is Tom and welcome to On a Student Budget. Today we're going to be doing a sound quality comparison video between the Sennheiser Momentum on-ear headphone and the Sennheiser Amperior headphones, which is also an on-ear headphone. So without further ado, let's get to the comparison video. In terms of bass, if you just want big, bombacious, elevated, pumping bass, the Momentum on-ears will definitely get you that in spades. So if you're listening to rap and hip-hop, this is really the headphone for you if you just want that bass pumping through you. The bass is elevated, it's deep reaching, it's actually for an on-ear headphone, actually reaches very low, and it's relatively clean. The bass response, but it has a looseness quality to it, so it's definitely a little boomy sounding. But the Amperiors, in contrast, are definitely much tighter sounding. Everything is so tightly controlled. It's quick, it's nimble. Like, you can throw the most complex bass lines on these headphones and it will reproduce it with no difficulty and marvelously and very clearly. But with the Amperiors, it doesn't reach as low as the Momentums in terms of the sub-bass regions. But that said, I'm just falling in love with the bass on the Amperiors entirely. Going into the mid-range, both of the headphones are more recessed in terms of the mid-range. The Momentum's more recessed, so the Momentums feel like it's about 2-3 rows behind the bass and the treble. So, like that said, both the mid-range is more, it's very clear. The Momentum on-ears have a hint of veiling in the mid-range. So things sound a little unnatural sometimes, but that said, if you're listening to more aggressive vocalists like and more like that hit certain notes like Adele, Mariah Carey, but predominantly female, the Momentums definitely sound more smoother, and like it pushes their voices a little further back, so it's not as aggressive to your ears, so you don't get that ear fatigue compared to the Amperiors, where the Amperiors it's more forward with the vocals, and it definitely displays like the character on their voices and the timbre of their voices more clear, and it's more in your face, so it sometimes does get a little overbearing on these from time to time. So if you're sensitive to that, you may want to avoid the Momentums in that regard and offer the Amperiors and offer the Momentum on-ears. In overall, I like the mid-range on the Amperiors more, just because everything is more exciting and clear. In terms of the treble, I do like the treble on the Momentum on-ears more, because both of these have a more aggressive treble, so it's more forward, everything's more exciting, but the Amperiors are more forward, it's more aggressive, and some people think that this is a little too bright and a little too, I don't know what's the word to say that, but it's just a little too bright for them. It's so the Momentums on-ears are lively, it's exciting, it doesn't lend to ear fatigue, and there's that sparkle in the treble that you really don't get for a lot of on-ear headphones. But both the treble is very well extended, but I do like the Momentum on-ears more in terms of the treble. Just in terms of soundstage, I think that the Momentum on-ears are definitely wider sounding than the Amperiors, which tend to sound very confined and really in your head. But that said, the Amperiors definitely place instruments more precisely within that confined soundstage compared to the Momentums, which tend to sound a little diffuse from time to time. That said, if like the soundstage is really, it's really up for grabs really for me. I do think I like the soundstage more on the Momentums, just because on-ear headphones typically don't have a wide soundstage, and this is very atypical, so I like that more personally. But in general, the sound quality on both of these headphones are superb. But if I had to pick one just as my go-to headphone every day between the two, it would be the Amperiors, just because the bass is just so tight, it's so controlled. The treble is a little bright for me, but everything is just so exciting and so detailed at the same time. That said, this is still very detailed, and the mid-range is very clear despite the boom bass. But I do think that the bass is a bit much for me, but I think for the average consumer, the bass would be perfect actually. If there was a way to combine the best of both worlds between these two headphones, it would be a fantastic headphone, and I would easily buy it in a heartbeat, like right now. But as of right now, I do prefer the Amperiors. I hope this video did help you guys out. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And definitely like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.